Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. It is so good to have you here. I am Sasha, just a girl from Jamaica, a firm believer in Christ who has a passion for baking, pastries, sweets, let's just say food, and other things, which I showcase here on YouTube. So as you can see and by the title, I am going to show you how I decorate these cute mini cakes known as bento or lunchbox cake, which are miniature cakes around 3 to 4 inches in diameter, fitted neatly inside takeout boxes. These types of cakes come in all types of frosting flavors such as whipped cream or buttercream, and the list goes on, and different cake variety or cake flavors from chocolate to vanilla, strawberry, and you get it, the list goes on. So if you're interested in how I decorated these cakes, then stay tuned. Now let's get this show on the, you know it, road.
Love is in your soul. Your price is higher than gold.
Let me just say this. Now looking back, this isn't how I planned on starting the video. I wanted to show you guys how I baked the cake in the sheet pan and how I got the sizes without using what's known as a cake cutter. Just as the name suggests, it's a cake tool that comes in different sizes to cut out the size cakes you want, from the smallest to the largest. But anyway, things never went as planned due to how I was feeling. I'm not going to lie, kitchen work is tiring, but because I enjoy what I do, I endure. So I just said, let me just show you the decorating process alone. So I apologize, I couldn't show you how I got these size cakes, but I just use a teacup and glass cup, but you can use any sanitary material that has a sharp round edge to cut out the size cake. It worked for me. So now onto my turntable, I use a parchment paper and I use a little dollop of buttercream so the paper can hold down onto my cake turntable. Then I added my cakes, the cutout cakes, and then I add my buttercream. Guys, to frost this cake, it is not easy. Based on what you're going to see, it is challenging, but I overcame the challenge. So because this is a chocolate cake, I decided to garnish it or layer it with some Oreos. So I crushed up some Oreos. Well, my cousin did. Tash, if you're watching this, thank you. She crushed up some Oreos for me and I sprinkled it onto the butter cake. Then I'm gonna layer it with another cake. So this is going to be the 2-layer cake. I'm gonna be baking 3 mini or bento cakes in total. 2 are going to be 2-layered, meaning 2 layers of cakes, and another is going to be 3-layer, which is the Oreo one that you see. I know that a lot of you are eyeing the Oreo one because it's so pretty out of the other 2. I know. So after that, I'm going to be adding more buttercream frosting. So if you don't know, I'm using buttercream. You know, it looks yellow on camera. It's not that yellow as the camera shows it on here, but yeah. So watch me frost and watch me make some little mess along the way. But you know these things, guys, you know, you're gonna get little mess here and there, and I'm still learning. So yeah, because these cakes are small in sizes, it makes it hard to frost, plus it keeps moving around here and there. I believe why this was slipping is because there are 2 pieces of parchment paper. One is sticked or glued or stuck to the turntable, while the other is just laying on top. It is my bad, I was hasting, I guess not seeing my mistake, but eventually I got it done. As you can see, it was an hassle to frost this cake since the icing kept lifting up, which I think you call it in the cake community. I guess you could say that in the baking community, when frosting keeps coming off of your cake, it is called dredging. I think that's what it's called, cake dredging, when the frosting keeps coming off while you're frosting your cake on the turntable and it keeps lifting up. I think it's called cake dredging, according to Yolanda Gamps, if I got her name right. She's here on YouTube. She has a channel called How to Cake It, and she normally uses that terminology whenever we frost cakes and the frosting keeps lifting off the cake while frosting it on your turntable. So that's what's been happening to me, guys. See with me, I'm not a professional as yet when it comes down to frosting cakes, but I can do my thing, not to sound overly yeah, but I can do my thing. So here and there, I'll make a mistake or two. So now I'm removing the papers, because at that moment I felt the papers were the reason I wasn't able to frost properly. So I just placed the cake on my turntable, which I should add, they are clean, the turntable is clean, and my hands are clean. So I begin frosting again and see if that was much better than before. But it kept dredging, but the show must go on. I didn't give up right here. Please pretend you don't see that little bit of buttercream. It's going to be there for a while until I can frost this cake properly. I should let you guys know I'm doing a crumb coat. Think of when you paint your nails, ladies. You put on 2 layers or more of nail polish before you wear the finished product. Same with painting a house. You put on a first coat of paint, let it dry, then add another to get the ultimate finished look. Same with cakes. You frost it first, then add it into the freezer or fridge, so the first coat traps all the cake crumbs. So whenever you put the second coat of buttercream, frosting, whatever, you won't see any crumbs on the outside, and you have that pretty cake finish look, if I'm making any sense right here. And then I use my bench scraper to just smooth the sides and get that neat look. I think I'm satisfied with this, so I'm going to put it in the pan and put my cake in the freezer. I thought I was recording from the beginning for this part of the video, but it wasn't. Anyway, same technique as the other. Place my cake on the turntable, take my piping bag or plastic bag, fill with buttercream frosting, while the turntable makes it easier to get the buttercream onto the cake. And then I added some Oreo crumbs to each buttercream layer and turned the last cake upside down onto the second layer of cake for it to look even. And I took my hand to press the cake down lightly. I was kind of being a bit rough with the cake, pressing it down, but oh well. Just frost. Then I just frost the cake. I think I'll stop talking for now and let you guys watch the rest. You see all of that when I got through it, and it's not just one of these cakes, but 3. So now I'm going to add the second layer of frosting to the 3-layer mini cake. I thought I would have had enough for the other 2, but it turned out that the amount of buttercream I made was enough to crumb coat all 3 and just second coat 1, which is why I covered the other 2 in sprinkles and Oreo crumbs. I'm learning when it comes on to baking, you're going to find little hiccups along the way. That's where you're going to put your brain to use and find solution for little mishaps here and there. Not just baking, I assume, anything you're passionate about, you know? Frosting the cake on the paper while being on the turntable hindered me from frosting properly. What's wrong with me? Properly, I believe. And the cake keeps slipping. I'm guessing my turntable needs what's called a non-slip mat. Some come with, while some, like mine, doesn't, which I believe is part of the reason why my cake can't stay one place, plus the size. So yeah guys, I think I'm gonna stop the voiceover right here for some time. Probably don't want to hear me talk this much. So I'm going to stop right here. So you enjoy the rest of me frosting this cake. And again, my turntable is clean and my hands are washed, okay? Yeah. So now that I'm coming down to the finishing touches, I'm taking out my cake and putting back the paper, the parchment paper on my turntable, then put my cake back and then start frosting my cake or smoothing it down with my bench scraper. This is a plastic, what is a bench scraper? Plastic scraper, bench scraper, whatever you want to describe it as, but I know it's some form of bench scraper in plastic form. coming down to the finishing line, my favorite part is decorating the cake. So as you know, this is going to be my Oreo inspired cake. This is a cake decoration you see a lot here on YouTube on many videos, you know, where you use Oreo crumbs and you decorate down the bottom, then around the edge or at the top or around the rim of the cake you'll put some crushed Oreos as well, and then you'd pipe some of your buttercream or whipped cream, whatever frosting you're using, and then you just put some pieces of Oreos, you know, the usual classic Oreo looking type of cake. You know, I thought it would work well since this is a chocolate cake, and then I use some Oreo crumbs in the layers, so why not top it off with some crushed Oreos, you know, and added some big chunks of Oreo onto the pipeable. I know these aren't looking as cute, but once the Oreo sits on top of it, like, it's not noticeable. I really need some piping tips and proper piping bags, but nothing done before time, you know, so I gotta use what I have for now, you know. Since you see guys, I upgraded, I didn't have a turntable at one point in time, now I do, so these things take time, especially you don't have the money like right away to get everything you want, so it's a process, it's steps. That's why guys, you should support this channel by subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, you know, so the channel can get the show on the road, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm just sprinkling it all off with some Oreo crumbs, and voila, this is my Oreo bento, well, Oreo inspired bento chocolate mini cake. I think that's a mouthful, but yeah, this is it. It's so cute. This is my favorite. Tell me in the comment section what cake so far is your favorite based on what you have seen. So now with this cake, my cousin Tashel, she didn't want to show you guys how she frosted her cake, so she did it off camera, and we're just gonna top it all off with Oreo crumbs, you know, and removing the excess and adding it back. Why did I sound like that? So this is the Oreo inspired cake. It's mostly Oreos on this one because, as I said, I didn't have enough frosting to do a second coat, so I just top it off with just pure Oreos. So for the last and final cake decoration is my sprinkles inspired bento cake, you know. So here I have my sprinkles in my cute little jar, and I'm gonna just top it all off with some sprinkles, you know. As I said, I didn't have enough buttercream to frost these two other cakes, so I just pile them up with sprinkles and Oreos, you know, to just hide all of that crumb coating, if that makes any sense. And if you've made it this far, I am so thankful and grateful. Thank you. If you didn't miss out anything, you keep watching, you pause, you come back, you watch, whatever you do, as long as you watch it throughout, you're a real one, you're a real G. I'm so appreciative of you, you know. So yeah, I'm just piping again some of my buttercream to make some rosettes, although I don't have any piping tips, but you know, gotta use what you have, make use of what you have, and look how they turned out beautifully. So there you have it, my bento slash mini or miniature cakes. You know, I'm starting to close them up. The Oreo one kind of gave me a bit of a hard time since it was so tall than the other two, but you know, it all came together. They tasted so good, not just saying because I did it, but they turned out really well. Like, me not gonna lie, this is a big progress, a big level up, a big step for me, because in the past, you know, my cakes didn't look, I don't want to say look bad, but you know, each time you're doing something, you learn more, you get better at it. So I'm really proud of myself. Tell me what you think in the comment section. So now I am going to be showing you guys how the inside looks. Look at that, guys. It's kind of melting here, but it was so yummy. Like, oh, look at that, the chocolatey goodness. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Bye guys.